Hey! So, to start today, I don't know if you can hear in the background, I share a wall with my 3-year-old, and she is still awake in her bed, rolling something on the wall. I can't hear. It reaches a point where you just pick your battles. So I think she has finally quieted down. Hopefully, she really needs to go to sleep. But I really need her to go to sleep. I love my baby. I love her so desperately. But she needs to go to sleep. The books that I am talking about in this particular video, I kind of have an idea of where I'm going with this. The YA books that I loved when I was a YA, or middle grade, as they say now. It's two different series of books. The first one is very well known, and it's definitely something that I would classify as middle grade, maybe early high school, and I'm sure you've read them. And if you haven't, just go and pick up just the first book. If you just do the first book, you're doing yourself a favor, and if you love it, then just let the rest follow. You will not regret it. I am talking about Madeleine L'Engle. What you getting into the Wrinkle in Time Quartet series. Quintet. Sorry, there are 5 of them. There are 5 books in this particular series about the Murray family traveling through space and time. It's amazing. These books are incredible. It starts with A Wrinkle in Time, which was published the year my mother was born, 1962. I'm sure she loves that I just advertised that. But it's the Newbery Medal for that year as well. And then it's followed by Wind in the Door and A Swiftly Tilting Planet, which are really the trilogy that follows the 2 main Wallace family siblings, Meg and, well, not Wallace, what am I saying? Murray family siblings, Meg and Charles Wallace. And I love these books. I'm so excited. My husband got this really pretty box set. You can't get them out of the box for Christmas for me this past year, and I'm so thrilled. The other 2 books in the series are Many Waters, which is about the twin brothers that are siblings to Meg and Charles Wallace, and then An Acceptable Time, which actually jumps ahead in a couple of generations. These books are amazing. One of my favorite quotes by Madeleine L'Engle, she says that the book is too difficult to write. What is it? Wait a minute, hold on, let me get that quote. Where's my phone? The quote is, "You have to write the book that wants to be written. And if the book will be too difficult for grown-ups, then you write it for children." I love this woman. I just love her. Oh, and these books. The other 2 books in the series are Many Waters and An Acceptable Time. And Many Waters follows the twins, who are Sandy and Denny's. I always thought that was interesting. His name is Dennys. Dennis? You know what? I think it's Dennis. It has to be Dennis. Denny's just, I mean, seriously. You can't name your child Benny's. You just can't. It'd be horrible. People would be trying to hit him up for eggs and bacon at 2 in the morning. Okay, that was a really bad joke. It's about the twins who fall back in time and actually go back to, and the book itself isn't religious in its essence, but it's pretty much the setting of the Ark, Noah's Ark, and the different creatures before the flood. I don't remember the names exactly. It was years since I read it, but I remember I loved it. But the last one was definitely my favorite. It was An Acceptable Time. And that is about the daughter of Meg, and her name is Polly. And she goes to visit her grandparents, and while she's there, she accidentally falls back in time to an imagined scenario, which is really interesting, and in like prehistoric America, and well, not prehistoric, just like Bronze Age Europe. That would be the time frame, I believe. I don't know. I didn't. I should know, but I don't know. So that's that. So for those books, and those are the ones that I highly, highly, highly suggest. That if you read anything in middle school, please read A Wrinkle in Time. You know, I was just thinking I should probably have looked that up before I said anything about prehistoric America versus Bronze Age, because the Bronze Age be considered prehistoric? I don't think so. I didn't major in history, so that's not. It's something I probably should know. I'm probably just like flaunting my American education here, even though it was a very good education. Thank you, Kennebunk High School. Okay, I gotta stop. The other set of books I'm going to talk to you about today are the Tales of the Kingdom series by one of my favorites, Cynthia Voigt. These books are just excellent. It's about this imaginary land called the Kingdom, but there's no magic, there's nothing. It's just people. I mean, they mention it. They're like, oh, myths and legends, people being aided by supernatural forces, and these characters are like, no, I'm just hanging on by sheer willpower. And there's something really, really great about that, just because there's so many great books out there where characters are aided by magic or whatever, and that's wonderful, but it's nice to see characters in books that are just getting by what they got and nothing outside of themselves but who they are. And I think our world needs to see more of that because this is reality. Sorry. These were all originally published under different names. So if you might have read these before, but I recently found them and they've been republished as different. Like this one is the Tale of Gwyn, but when I read it when I was 14 years old, when I was in the 8th grade, it was Jackaroo, which is the name of the highwayman, who is the legendary character that this book revolves around, and this young woman who is the daughter of an innkeeper named Gwen, who kind of inadvertently takes on that persona. And it's really about the creation of mythology and how a legend is born and carries on. It's really good. The next book in the series is called The Tale of Birle. I believe that's how you say it. I think I've been saying it correctly all these years. And it was originally published as On Fortune's Wheel. And this one is about how socially things can change so quickly for a person. And people who are once on top can very quickly be on the bottom and vice versa, and how it shifts. And the next two, The Tale of Oriel, which was published originally as The Wings of a Falcon, is about a young man. It's a coming-of-age story about a young man trying to find his destiny. And pretty much about friendship. And then Elske, I loved this one. And this one is called The Tale of Elske, but it was originally just called plain old Elske. And I always remember the cover originally had the painting of the girl with the pearl earring. And the new covers are gorgeous, but I always envisioned the main character as looking like the girl from that particular work of art. This one is about a young woman who is a born into and held captive by a society that lives outside of the kingdom, which is essentially the Vikings. Pretty much, you can see how it's like they have when they have a leader that dies, they burn his body in a big boat thing with all of his stuff, and that's what it's been inspired by. But she escapes that society and comes to the kingdom and finds that it can be just as savage. It's very interesting. These books are dealing with topics, now that I think about it, that really kids these days don't really think about, is how fast your fortunes can turn and how good things can turn bad really quickly in life and how good things can turn bad, and the importance of friendship and not, like in Jackaroo, idolizing somebody who isn't real. It's just kind of a fabrication, which can be seen as kind of like our society of, I'm talking a lot about society, celebrity worship. It's really hot in this room. So aside from me saying and a lot, I didn't realize how many times I say the word and when I'm thinking. It's like my substitution for. Some people are say a lot. I say too, but not as much as I go and anyway, I'm rambling. Um, these particular books, and then I said again. I'm trying to speak as with as little verbal gunk as possible. It's hard, especially when you're talking to a camera. It's really hard. Talking to a camera, this isn't nothing to sniff at. You people are real good at it on Booktube. You got me miffed. But these particular books are the ones that I read and loved when I was in middle school. I guess these are more middle grade. I shouldn't say the books I loved when I was a YA, the YA books I loved when I was a, because these are definitely more middle grade. Now that I think of it, I mean, there are certain elements of the Kingdom books by Cynthia Voigt that I think some older middle school, maybe like 14, they could handle it. Because sometimes it can be a little bit brutal, especially in Elske. Elske can be a little brutal. And there are a few scenes that could make other people uncomfortable. Nothing graphic, but enough suggestion. I guess it's up to your discretion. I'm a really big believer in teaching your child how to self-censor and all that. So, I'm leaving it up to you. So, that is my blog for this week, or today. I don't know if I'm going to continue this. This was just kind of an experimental fun thing. If I do, I believe the next one will be something completely self-indulgent and just a really one that I just am really excited to do. So I'll see you when I see you. Maybe? I don't know yet. Bye.